And good morning. I did it again. Seriously thinking it through, and here we are. The good afternoon, everyone. I guess it really doesn't matter because 99% of our viewers see us at all times throughout the day and literally around the world. So good morning, good afternoon. What was it that Jim Carrey did in that movie? Started with a T. Anyway, wherever you are in the world and whatever time it is, hello and welcome to the show. That's what it should be all along anyway. Hello and welcome to the program. We're excited that you're here with us. This is CHAT CANNA. Everything about hemp that there could possibly be. My Alexis is giving me all sorts of information as she does kind of on the hour everywhere that I am. We have those devices all over and they are invaluable to us. Not counting helping me with spelling as I'm writing things. So it's an incredible day out today. The first day that I've done the show, morning or afternoon, that it's below zero. That's a very unusual situation for us here in northern Minnesota. It's -4 out right now, but at least the sun is shining. It was blustery and blowing winds and stuff this morning, but it has really settled down here now. And just a beautiful direct sunlight, harsh shadows kind of a day today for us here. Well, exciting things going on here at CANNA RHX. New products are getting ready to come online. This is called CANNA Kiss, and it's a hemp-infused lip balm, and it's really neat. I got to get these out of their package and get them to the photographer, and other things coming along. We are just excited here. These are the days in the year when you wish that you were three of you, like you see in the science fiction movies, bloop, bloop, and there's three of you that can go off in different directions. And it's really, really an exciting time. I hope it is for you wherever you are. I had my first vaccination here on Saturday. My second one will be February 11th. Then about, I think, 3 weeks, they say you have to wait. And barring some other kind of news that we don't like, I plan to get out on the road. I have been here, not leaving the farm, except to watch church in the parking lot. And I think I've been out to meet people very safely twice, maybe, since March 16th. So it will be over a year. And that has got to be a record in my adult life, probably my lifetime, that I have stayed in any one place. And I hope it will be many years again until, that should come around again. Just thinking, my father passed at almost 95. And spent his last years here at the farm. But even in his last year at 95, in the summer of that year, we traveled. He got at least to Fargo and Bemidji of that year. So, but this year I have not, I've gotten to Fargo for doctor appointments. And that's it. And that was the only reason to go to specialists in Sanford, in Fargo. Nothing else. Nothing else. Grand Forks, also some doctors. So I miss you all. I miss all of my friends that are distributed from Grand Forks to Minneapolis to Fertile, Minnesota. My aunt at a nursing home in Fertile. Just want to see her so bad. Not counting friends in Tennessee and Florida and the East Coast and the West Coast. And that's before we get to Europe and Thailand and South Africa and South America. It's a crazy year. And I have not been able to host anyone. And it's just sad because we now have a second farmstead. And that farmstead, we completely rebuilt the house. The main office, the main level is a laboratory as we're developing out our hemp business, and some offices and things. But the upstairs is 3 beautiful New York loft kind of bedrooms and a beautiful, beautiful bath. And it's there to host guests so that when they come to see us, they are right on the farmstead. They will wake up and be able to go have a cup of coffee and be right out there on the farm. It's really nice. And we haven't even had a broke down trucker. So that's what this year has brought to us so far. But have excitement in our voice, and hopefully this is going to be the year that changes it all. Well, today, what have we got? I have 2 stories for you today. One is that Martha, of course, everybody I hope knows when we say Martha, let's see what would be. There's been 3 Marthas of note in my life. I wouldn't count Martha Washington. I mean, obviously George Washington's wife, Martha, but I don't know. Was she anything specific? Martha Stewart, the one that I would think of. And then, of course, Martha in the Bible. But so when I say Martha, I hope everybody thinks of Martha Stewart. And the joke is that Martha's going to the dogs. Well, today she has brought out her line of a line of dog treats with CBD infusion. Of course, we are not doing that here right now in our line of products because we don't feel that we have the go-ahead from the government and the FDA yet. And we're being very, very careful about that. We are not making any products that can go in the human body that we are retailing to the world. We are making some for ourselves and distributing to our friends and stuff and saying, here, try this. But, until we get the go-ahead, and that's going to be the big story today. We're going to talk about that a little more coming out of Washington. But Martha, well, she lives above the law, you might say, as she tried to do a few years ago now. It's been like 10 years ago. But, her sprawling Connecticut farm is home to literally hundreds of chickens and geese, 20 peacocks, pigeons, horses, donkeys, cats. And then, of course, she has 2 chow chows. They're named Emperor Han and Emperor Kwai. And then 2 French bulldogs. That's Bete Noir and Creme Brulee. And but it was one of her former dogs that has passed that she created a line of products. They're called dog treats. Empress Wu, slightly blind and had been abused and was a scaredy cat dog. And that's what happens to dogs when they've been abused. And ultimately, they couldn't have her around her grandkids because, she was one of those dogs that was so scared that if one of the kids happened to approach from behind her, she reached out in a negative way. And so finally, the dog did go to her breeder, and Empress Wu spent the rest of her days there. But Martha feels that she would have reacted properly and in a favorable way to the chews that Martha has invented because they bring down the anxiety level. And so that's what, with her friend Snoop Dogg, that's what they have developed here, CBD gummies for pets. Pâté de fruit is her name of them. So it helps dogs with arthritic conditions, according to Martha. Don't take my word. Previous wounds, getting along with other dogs, or dogs that just want to feel good. And we will probably try that here too. We have a dog here on the farm named Kaiser, the neighborhood dog. He's not really our dog. Belongs to a neighbor over here. And he ended up here more than 13 or 14 years ago. We brought a poodle here. She was 1 year old, named Mocha, and a wonderful dog. And she became a hit here in the neighborhood. And she became my dad's last dog. She would sit here in a chair right here and just put her chin on his knee. And for an hour or so would sit like that, and he would just reach down and pet her a little bit. And she would happily just stay there and wait for his next attention. It was great comfort to my dad as he was starting to lose some of his senses. He couldn't see so good. He couldn't hear so good, but it was great comfort to him that Mocha was right there, not even just at his side, but with her chin right on his knee. And for some reason, Kaiser took up with her and would wait by the door for her to come out 2 or 3 times a day. And they just played like little puppies. Of course, they were both very young at that time. She came as a year old, and he was a couple of years old at that time. And this was back in 2007. And they had about a 5 or 6 year relationship. And sadly, Mocha was killed out on the road here one night. She was enticed out on the road in a car. It's one of those stories. And for a few days after that, Kaiser sat down at a snowbank here and just howled. He just howled at the loss of his best friend. And we thought that he would, find his way back to the other farm, but he didn't. And then a year or so later, we got another poodle here. These are full-size poodles, by the way. They stand as high as a golden retriever and or golden Labrador. And Lucy came into our life, and she's now 6 or 7 years old. But believe it or not, Kaiser, half German Shepherd, half Alaskan Husky, is still with us, and he's still acting like a young dog. He slows down a little bit from rheumatism and arthritis, but he can run 1.5 miles yet. And he's inside now on these really cold days. He goes out about 10 in the morning, but he's back in by 1 or 2 in the afternoon, and he quietly sleeps. He's sleeping right over here. He'll go out a couple more times today, but he'll be right back in and sleeps through the night and then goes out again tomorrow. We don't know how much time he is with us yet, but we think that he's still dreaming of Mocha. But these CBD chews, we'll make some here. We know how to make a chew. Is the same thing as a gummy bear. It's just cornstarch or corn syrup with thickeners in it to make it like a gummy bear. That's all the gummy bears are. Of course, they don't have infusions of hemp or any other medicines in them. And you just add the ingredients that you want in them and put them in a mold. And you can get molds of worms, or you can get a mold of a butterfly or a bear or anything that you might like. And you add coloring to them: red, golden, of course, green. I think there's some blue ones, things like that. And I know that he'll eat it in a heartbeat. Matter of fact, we should make some. He was at one point 150 pounds. He's down now to about 125 pounds because his thyroid was either an overdrive or underdrive. I don't know which. And the veterinarian prescribed these pills to him. He takes them morning and night, and he just walked off those pounds. I joke with her, I want to get some of those pills. She said, yeah, don't we all? So Kaiser, the neighborhood dog, please drive slow by our place if you're going by. But he is now 16 years old, way beyond the normal years for each of his parental breeds. So Martha is now in the gummy bear dog chew business for her dogs, promising wellness, mobility, and calm. I do not promise that, but she says she has flavored them with chicken, blueberry, cranberry, which are all good and nutritious, both for humans and for pets. That's the big news coming out of Martha today. The big news now for us in the human CBD world. We were so close. The thing that is so, and I just want to tell you, one of my boys, raised him since he was 6. is a marketing, he's not a marketer himself. He does all of the production of the promotions so that people that are in marketing then take up all of that materials and do the plan. He creates the plan, makes a lot of money in doing that, and then people work the plan. And we were talking today. I guess I'm kind of his mentor because he started following in my footsteps when he was about 20 years old and decided that college was moving too slow for him. But anyway, we were talking a little bit about he's doing a big marketing plan for a CBD business. And he said, and we were talking about this, what we're going to talk about here today. And I said, and the government hasn't yet decided if it's legal, and that can get. We were talking about that some of the methods for taking the CBD little squeezings out of the hemp flowers. Some of the ways that you can do that we can't use for hemp, because while we're doing that, then the micro 0.3% of THC that's in the plant gets concentrated past that percentage, and that's not legal to do. Although that method of removing the CBD from the plant is a wonderful method. And I said, and the government hasn't yet decided if that's legal, that it can get concentrated for a little while we're processing it. And he said, so interesting and frustrating at the same time. What a fascinating plant. And I said, that is the entire industry in a nutshell. And then he made an emoji after that. And that's what is exactly happened right now with the change of presidents in Washington. Today again, U.S. drug regulators have withdrawn their proposal to regulate over-the-counter CBD, which hands our entire industry another setback after years of delay from the Food and Drug Administration. The proposal in question was withdrawn because Don is out and Joe is in. We expected that there was going to be some changes, but this is so frustrating, especially the multi-million dollar, hundreds of million dollar CBD operators thought that they had the new rules and were ready to go. The FDA sent the proposal to the White House Office of Management and Budget, OMB, last July, a final step before the regulations went public. But the FDA withdrew the CBD proposal on Thursday, a day after President Joe was inaugurated. Literally hours after he got it seated in the White House, a memo came to all federal agencies telling them, we are withdrawing the pending rules, such as the FDA's CBD guidance. Details of the actual proposal were never released. They were sent more than a year after the FDA had started a fresh review of CBD for us and other cannabinoids. Now, at this moment, there is no legal deadline for the FDA to give us a clear path for the legal over-the-counter sales of CBD. Now, they have repeatedly told us they know the product is sold over the counter and that regulatory safety standards are overdue to give us some guidance and tell us what we can do. But here we are. The Trump White House had met with everybody to discuss the new CBD rulers. And when I'm talking about the big guys, that's like GW Pharmaceuticals and like the chain retailer that you all know, GNC, the General Nutrition Centers that are in the malls and across America and big on the internet. So yesterday, an FDA spokesman told Hemp Industry News Daily, they're a big newspaper type reporting agency, this is the words we got. The agency will work closely with the new administration to advance appropriate regulations and policies that are in line with the agency's public health mission. And that's where they dropped it. They gave no timeline for resubmitting a new proposal. So the big news today is that there is no news today. What's an accepted dose? Is it safe for humans? Is it safe for pets? Can you sell it in gummies that you can eat? Can you put it in tinctures that you can put in your tongue, under your tongue? We're literally back to 3 years ago. It's the wild, wild rest. It's the wild, wild west reinvented. Here we are again. And it's exactly what I told Chris just this afternoon. Here you go, folks. This is the entire industry in a nutshell. Happy to talk to you today. This is CHAT CANNA. Hey, it's a fun day. It's always a fun day when we're talking about hemp. We got to get back to exchanging information and talking with our friends. We got to get the hemp business rolling again. You know, it came to a dead stop last March. I know that it's starting to roll again because we're talking to people. We're doing a lot of testing on our GemaCert tester. We'd love to test your products if you have any. Get a hold of me. Let's get an email up there. Love to hear from you. Love to hear what's going on in your neck of the woods. Love to do an interview with you and have you on the show. Please make contact with us. In the meantime, until tomorrow, that's CHAT CANNA for another day. Have a safe day. Get your vaccination, and we'll look forward to talking to you again real soon.